everyone, welcome to our channel Knowledge Hub. Friends, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for the latest update. Today we're gonna start with your reasoning class, and the reasoning class is LVD, that is Logical Venn Diagram. And this is the class of reasoning, that is 120 here, and we had discussed 119th classes of reasoning till the date. As of now, that in the 199 or 119 class that we had done is, first we had covered the topic analogy here, and then we had discussed the classification, coding, decoding, a series compilation, a blood relation. Then we had discussed your sequential tracing, and then of course then we had done lastly we have done before the logical Venn diagram, that is direction sense test, and now we are doing LVD, that is logical Venn diagram. विद इन दिस, अगर आप हमारे चैनल फर्स्ट टाइम देख रहे हो या अभी तक आपने हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है, इट्स अ ह्यूज रिक्वेस्ट कि आप हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो, सो दैट हम जो भी वीडियोस डालें वो आपके पास सबसे पहले पहुंचे। एंड सेकेंडली, अगर आपको हमारा वीडियो अच्छा लगे तो प्लीज़ हमारे वीडियो को लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब करो, सो दैट ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों के पास वीडियो पहुँचे और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग इसका यूटिलाइजेशन भी कर सकें। If I'm talking about the reasoning here, so now we'll discuss the ninth or 10th topic of logical reasoning that we are is going to study here. And this is it. We had in the last class, in 119th class, I had covered up 15th questions of logical Venn diagram. From today we will start discussing the 16th question, that the question I had told you how to use those questions, how to utilize those knowledge of question, and then you can make a conclusion there and then find the answer in the reasoning. In this you have to see the characteristics of the given the partitions, the different in that, or the similarity you have to find out, and then accordingly you have to draw a logical Venn diagram here. So you have to be very careful while solving the logical Venn diagram. So here it is, the question number 16. The question said is deer, rabbit and mammal. Deer, rabbit and mammal, if I'm talking about, so deer and rabbit are unrelated items. Deer और rabbit जो आपके हैं वो unrelated items हैं, but both are mammals. तो दोनों ही जो है वो mammals आते हैं. तो we will draw the diagram like here, because these two are separate here, but these comes under the mammals only. So one is here deer, this is rabbit, but both these were called as mammals. So this bigger circle is known as mammals here. So these deer and rabbit are two different, but these comes under the category of mammals. So that the diagram what we had shown here, you have to draw this only. Now talking about the next question that we have here is the question number 17 here. As the question is human being, teacher and graduate. So human being, that is the human, talking about human, teachers is about all about teachers, and graduates, of course the graduate one. This question has been asked in the central exercise question paper as well as the income tax question paper as well. So this is the possibility of coming these questions in the income tax question paper also. Now talking about the human beings and teachers, all the teachers are graduate and are human being, but some teachers can be graduate and some graduates can be teachers. So in that category that we have here is all about, we can mention this, some of the teachers would be the graduate. Okay, this is the possibility, but these two, either if I'm talking about the teachers, either I'm talking about the graduates, these two all are in human being. So this is the human being will be the common, because human being will be a teacher and the teacher will be a human being, and as well as the graduate will be a human being here. So all the teachers and graduates are human being, but some teachers can be graduate and some graduates can be teacher. This is the possibility. So the big circle is of human being, and the one who is your teacher here, this is the teacher, and the one is here is your graduate. So here you have to draw the Venn diagram according to the condition what they had given you. Now talking about the next question that we have, a 118th question, and the question is whales, fishes and crocodiles. So whales, fishes and crocodiles की अगर हम बात करते हैं, तो whatever the category, if I'm talking about the whales and fishes and crocodiles, so इनकी similarity first we will check out. If they have a similarity, then according to that we will be performing and we will drawing the logical Venn diagram, otherwise we'll be excluding that. So in the whales, fishes and crocodiles, whale, fishes and crocodiles are all the separate items, entirely different from one and each other. in this. So they would be represented by the three disjoint figures, that one is your whales and one is your fishes and of course one is your crocodiles here. The whales and fishes and of course your crocodiles, these were the three entirely different from each other. That's the reason why they are drawn with a disjoint figure here. Now talking about the question number 19 here for the session is that is plums, tomatoes and fruit. Plums, tomatoes and fruit, or we have to find out the condition, we have to find out the situation here. All plums or fruit, जितने भी plums हैं वो सारे के सारे आपके fruit होंगे, but tomatoes are entirely different with this. तो all plums are fruit, it means, or we have to draw like this. पहला जो inside circle होगा, this is known as your here the plums one, the outside one is your fruit here, and of course the separate one is the tomato, what I had told you here. So in these conditions that plums, tomatoes and fruits के बारे में, then here all plums are fruits, that's the reason all plums were fruit, and but the tomatoes are entirely different here for this sake. Now talking about the next one, that is your 20th question. The question we have here is the 20th question, that is your mountains, forest and earth. Mountain, forest and earth की अगर हम बात करते हैं with reference to this. So if I'm talking about the mountains, forest and of course earth, the mountain, forest and earth are a part of earth. तो mountain है और जो forest है ये आपका एक part है earth का, ठीक है. But the some mountains are forested and some forests are mountainous. So this what we will draw the diagram here in the form of, because this is the some possibility there we have is the first one here, it is mountains, the second one here is a forest, and this is of course the earth. So in this same case some mountains, the mountains and forest are comes under the earth only, but here for that case some mountains are forested and some forests are mountain, so and that comes under the category of earth only. Now moving on with the next question, that we have your question number 21 that we have 21th question. The question is tiger, fox and carnivorous. Tiger, fox and carnivorous, we have to find out the relationship here. Tiger and fox, these were unrelated and entirely different here, but both are the carnivores, or you can say that the carnivores is also known as your flesh eating animals. Okay, so this is what it is. This carnivores is known as flesh eating animals, and tigers and fox are entirely different here. So in this case we have to mention these two were the different ones. So this is the tiger here and this is a fox here, but where both are known as carnivorous because both are flesh eating animals. So you can write it down, you can draw the Venn diagram as that what we had right here, that tiger and fox were the different categories, and they are not like each other, they are not having a similarity with each other, but of course this is the entirely known as carnivorous, and that are your flesh eating animals here. Now talking about the question number 22 here, the question is grams, beans and legumes. Grams, beans and legumes, these were the 22th question, and the question what it says is grams and beans are entirely different from each other. Basically grams and beans are entirely different from each other, but both are called as legumes here. Grams and beans both are in individual, they both are called as legumes. So we will be drawing similar to this above figure here. This one will be your grams here, the one will be your beans here, and then of course they entirely call as legumes. Okay, so this is the gram and this is the beans, and these entirely called as legumes, where grams and beans are entirely different from each other, but both are called as legumes here. The question number 23rd that we have here, the question is flowers, clothes and white. Flowers, clothes and white, of course some flowers are white, okay, some cloths are white, okay, these were the categories, some flowers are white, some cloths are white, but all white things are not flowers or clothes. So we will be drawing this figure as like कि क्योंकि दोनों में flowers or cloths में white common है, so we will be drawing the white in between the flowers as well as cloths. So this is what you can say that it is a flower, this is a white, and of course this is your clothes. So this is flower, this is white, and this is cloths. So here in this categorization, some flowers are called white, some cloths are called white, but all the white things are not flower or cloth, but in the same categorization we will draw the diagram like this. Now moving on with the next one, that we have your 24th question. The question we have your uncle, parents and friends. Uncle, parents and friends. Uncles, parents and friends are entirely different from each other. So we will be drawing this Venn diagram entirely disjoint figures. So that one will be the uncle here, one will be the parents here, and of course one will be the friends here. Now talking about the next one, that we have your 25th question here, and the question is Rohtak, Haryana and Punjab. Rohtak and Haryana and Punjab, we have to find out the similarity between those, and after that we will be concluding this. So with reference to the Rohtak is a part of Haryana. So you all know, I hope, if you're living in India, if you had studied the maps of India. So this is the entire disjoint figures. And the 25th question here we have Rohtak, Haryana and Punjab. As I told you, Rohtak is a part of Haryana, as you had gone through with the map. Okay, so Punjab is a separate state. तो हरियाणा के अंदर रोहतक पड़ता है, but Punjab is a separate state. So you can write it down. I think I had told you about this, all the 9 possible Venn diagram. So I think you will be able to solve all these Venn diagram in an easy way right now. So hope you had gone through with the previous video, so that it will make you easy to draw these diagram. Otherwise, if you are seeing these videos reading in between, of course that will cannot help you at all, because basics से लेके मैं critical problems तक कराती हूँ. तो बट अगर आप डायरेक्ट critical questions करोगे तो of course basic ही नहीं clear है, तो फिर critical तो of course problem करेगा आपको. ओके तो यहाँ पे रोहतक जो है वो आपका हरियाणा का पार्ट है, तो आई हैड ड्रॉन लाइक दिस, एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स in the concentric circles, and then Punjab is a separate one, so I had drawn that it in the separate manner. Now moving on with the next question that we have with related to 26th question here. Here is the next question, that is your question number 26, and the question is engineer, doctor and people. So both engineer and doctor are known as a people, but both of them are different from each other. Engineer and doctor दोनों ही different professions हैं, but दोनों ही आपके people होते हैं. तो इस वजह से in that same way, जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया था, दो disjoint of figures बनाएंगे. इसमें से एक तो ये engineer हो गए, ओके एक इंजीनियर हो गए, एक आपके डॉक्टर्स हो गए. ओके क्लियर, एक डॉक्टर हो गए, बट ये दोनों ही किसके अंदर आएंगे? दे आर कम्स अंडर द पीपल हियर. So in this way you can draw the diagram here. Now talking about the next question, that is your question number 27 here. The question is thieves, lawyer and criminal. तो thieves, lawyer and criminal की बात अगर करते हैं हम, so all the thieves are criminal. जितने भी आपके thieves हैं, सबके सारे के सारे चोर जो आपके हैं वो criminals ही हैं, but lawyer are entirely different. lawyer उनका बिल्कुल entirely different है. तो ठीक है, इस तरह से मैं बनाऊंगी तो आई थिंक आपको समझ में आ गया कि हम कौन सा फिगर concentric circle बनाएंगे. Inside one will be thieves here, and of course this is your criminal here. And because lawyer is entirely different, so it will be the separate circle, the Venn diagram that we have to draw here. In this case, all thieves are criminal, but the liars are entirely different with each other. Then of course we had drawn like that. Now moving on with the next question that we have here with respect to the 28th question of the session here is your sea, island and mountain. Sea, island and mountain की बात अगर हम करते हैं, island is a part of sea. Island जो है वो आपका sea का part है, but the mountain is entirely different. तो उसके लिए आपको ऊपर वाला ही फिगर बनाना पड़ेंगे, दो concentric circles बनाएंगे हम, ठीक है, क्योंकि आइलैंड जो है वो आपका पार्ट है, आइलैंड जो है वो आपका, वो किसका पार्ट है, दिस इज द पार्ट ऑफ सी हियर, बट द माउंटेन इज टोटली डिफरेंट, तो उसको मैंने सेपरेट बनाया हुआ है. ओके, इन दिस केस यू कैन से दैट आइलैंड इज अ पार्ट ऑफ सी but mountains is entirely different here. The question number 29 that we have here, that is antisocial element, pickpockets and blackmailers. So basically antisocial elements, pickpockets and blackmailers, this question has been asked in your MBA question paper, and this is of course an important one because this has been asked in the MBA question paper. The question is antisocial elements, pickpockets and blackmailers. वो both pickpockets की बात करती हूँ या blackmailers. Pickpockets and blackmailers are, you know, the part of antisocial elements only, but some pickpockets can be blackmailers, and of course and the vice versa, some blackmailers will be the, you know, some pickpockets here. तो इसके लिए हम करेंगे because they are the condition of some here. So pickpockets जो है, कुछ pickpockets जो है वो कुछ आपके blackmailers भी हो सकते हैं, and that both are like, for example, this is a pickpocket here. These were the blackmailers, and these entirely comes under a part of anti-social element. Okay, this is entirely comes under the part of antisocial element, क्योंकि big pockets आपके हो चाहे blackmailers, so these two are entirely comes under antisocial element, and this has been asked in the MBA question paper. Now moving on with the next one, that is the question number 30th that we have here is, the question we have is magician, instrumentalist, violinist. This question is also an important one because this has been asked in the IAS question paper here, and in the IAS question paper this is the you know that not that much easiest. All the violinists are instrumentalists. तो violinist जो है वो सारे instrumentalists होंगे, but all the instrumentalists are musicians. तो और जो जितने भी instrumentalists होंगे वो आपके musician होंगे. तो इसमें अभी तक हम दो आपके concentric circles बना देते, उस तरह से फिगर को बना देते because they comes under these category, but यहाँ पे तीनों, क्योंकि all the violinists are known as all instrumentists and all the instrumentists are known as magicians here. तो यहाँ पे हम तीन concentric circles बनाएंगे. Okay, here we will be drawing this because this is an important, this has been asked in the income tax question paper. The inside one, all the violinists are known as, जो second वाला क्या होगा, instrumentist, and all the instrumentalists are called as your musicians. Okay, so this is what it is an important, this is also an important one, and this is also an important, both are important question of the reasoning part where they had asked in the MBA question paper. This is also an important question examiners, and of course this is an income tax IAS question paper. This is also an important paper that we are dealing with in reference to the competition here. Now talking about the next question that we have, your 31st question here is, here is the 31st question. The question is pigeons, birds and a dog here, and this is the question. This is also the important question here. This has been asked in your assistant grade question paper. All the pigeons are bird, all the pigeons are known as birds, but the dogs are entirely different here. So we will be making the diagram with two concentric circle and one separate. This separate one is known as a dog here, and of course the inside one here is known as pigeon, and the second one that is known as birds here. Okay, so in that case all the pigeons are known as bird and the dogs are entirely different here. Now talking about the question number 32 with here, and the question is diseases, leprosy and scurvy. Diseases and that diseases, leprosy and scurvy, this is an important question. This has been asked in the hotel management question paper, and the questions you have to solve according to the situation, according to the link, according to the similarity, according to the difference between those, that according to that you have to solve the questions here. And the diseases, leprosy and the scurvy, where both leprosy and the scurvy are the diseases. These two are the diseases, but both are entirely different from each other, so that you have to draw a two disjoint circle here, and then after that the one which is comes under the diseases here. So this the bigger one will be the diseases here, and the first here, this is your leprosy, and the second another circle will be the scurvy here. This is what you can say, that leprosy and the scurvy will be the two different diseases, but these two are known as diseases, so we had concluded in a one big circle that is known as diseases here. Now moving on with the next question, the question number 33 here. The question is hockey, cricket and games. Hockey and cricket and games. So here both hockey as well as the crickets are games, but both are entirely different from each other. Hockey और cricket जो है वो दोनों एक दूसरे से entirely different है, but these two are known as games. So we will do as similar to the before a question that we had drawn two disjoint of circles here, that is one will be the hockey here, one will be the cricket here, and they both entirely known as the games here. Now talking about the next question, that is your question number 34th here. The question is yak, zebra and bear. Yak, zebra and bear. This is the question that has been asked in the hotel management question paper here. In the hotel management question paper, this has been asked, and the yak, zebra and bear all are different from each other. Yak, zebra and bear, these all are different from one in each other. So we will be drawing three disjoint of figure here to represent the Venn diagram of these question. This is your bear, this is your yak, and this is will be the zebra here. You can write it down, the zebra first and then yak and then of course bear, and according to the question yak, zebra, bear, it could be the same because these three all are different and disjoint figures, and that is has been asked in your hotel management question paper as well. Now talking about the next question, that is your question number 35 here. The question is sun, moon and star. Sun, moon and star, this is the question, and the question sun is a star. You can say the sun is also known as star. Moon is entirely different from the two. Moon जो है ना ही वो आपका star है और ना ही आपका sun है, but sun is also known as star. So you can draw this diagram, the two concentric circles what we had drawn many times, and this is the separate one, and the separate one is known as moon here, and two concentric circles में पहला जो inside है, because sun are known as star, the inside one the star sun, and the outside one will be the stars here. Okay, so you can say that sun is a star, moon is entirely different from the two that we had drawn separate here, that is moon, and here the sun is also known as the star that we had drawn here. Now moving on with the next question, that we have your question number 36 that we have to discuss here is question number 36 here, that is animals, men and plants. Animals, men and plant here, you can see that, and the question is animals, men and plant. Men belong to the class of animal. Okay, men are also belongs to the class of, they are not already an animal, but these are the belonging to the class of animal. Plants are entirely different from the two, so we will be drawing here the two concentric circles here, and one is a different circle that is a different apart, and this will be the plant here, and the first inside one will be the men, because men is belonging to the class of animals here. Okay, so we'll write that, and men belongs to the class of animal. Plants are entirely different from each other, so that we had drawn this diagram here. So according to that, you have to first identify the questions, what the pattern they had drawn here, and according to that you have to draw the Venn diagram, because there are 9 possibilities of drawing the Venn diagram. So many of the students will be confusing between which diagram we have to draw with this. So it's some of the students in this question only, some of the students will draw animals are different, men are different, plants are different, so they will be drawing three disjoint figures figures here, but that is not because animals are known as the class of animals only. So this will be the right diagram when you are drawing. If some of the students are drawing three disjoint circles of a Venn diagram, like animals, vents, and plants are the three different one, so they are drawing the wrong diagram and they will not get the marks there. So you have to understood very well, and this all the class were the important from the class reasoning class of first till the list class, that is your 120th class. All the classes are important. You can go through the playlist, you will be getting all the videos there. Now moving on with the next question, that is your question number 37 here, and the question is Mercury, Mars and planet. Mercury, Mars and planet. This is the question that has been asked in the hotel management question paper, and this is also an important one. Mercury, Mars and planets की अगर हम बात करते हैं, Mercury and Mars are entirely different, from each other, but they both are known as planet. ये दोनों तो different है, पर ये दोनों ही जो है वो आपके planets कहलाते हैं. So this has been asked in the hotel management question paper, and this is also an important one. So we'll draw the two disjoint circles here, and the one bigger one, and the bigger one is known as the planets here, and the one in which where we called as Mars here, and the second one we called as Mercury here. So Mercury and Mars were the two different one, but they are comes under the planet. We had drawn this diagram. Now talking about the next one, that we have a 38th question. The question is doctors, lawyers and professionals. Doctors, lawyers and professionals. Doctors, lawyers and professional की अगर हम बात करते हैं, so we will be drawing the two disjoint figures here. The first will be the doctors here, and the second will be the lawyers, and we will draw these doctors and lawyers, both are known as professionals here. Okay, so here in this, both doctors and lawyers are professional, but both are entirely different from each other. That's the reason we had drawn two separate circle for doctor and lawyer, but we had conclude this in a big circle that are known as professionals, because doctors are also known as professionals and lawyers are also known as professional, but these two were the different professions here. So we had drawn this. Now moving on with the next one, that is your question number 39th we have here is, the question is talk men, black haired people and Indians. Talk men, black haired Indians and your that Indians, black haired people and Indians, ये three categories है. टॉल मैन जो बहुत लंबे आदमी होते हैं, ब्लैक हेयर्ड पीपल्स मतलब जिनके काले बाल होते हैं, और इंडियंस दैट वी आर. This is the question that has been asked in the SCRA question paper here. So this is also an important one here, and you have to understood this question here. तो टॉल मैन, ब्लैक हेयर्ड पीपल एंड इंडियंस की अगर हम बात करते हैं, तो ये क्या कैटेगराइजेशन है. बेसिकली सम टॉल मैन कैन बी ब्लैक हेयर्ड. तो कुछ टॉल मैन जो होते हैं वो आपके हो सकते हैं ब्लैक हेयर्ड पीपल, लाइक उनके पास लंबे भी हैं और प्लस उनके पास ब्लैक बाल भी हैं. बट सम ब्लैक हेयर्ड पीपल आर कैन बी इंडियन, और ब्लैक हेयर्ड पीपल जो है वो आपके इंडियन भी हो सकते हैं. सम टॉल मैन कैन बी इंडियन, सम टॉल मैन, बड़े कुछ लंबे लोग हमारे इंडियंस भी हो सकते हैं. ओके, एंड इवन दो, सो ऑल द थ्री आइटम्स आर पार्शली इंटर रिलेटेड, कि कुछ आपके टॉल मैन ब्लैक हेयर्ड पीपल भी हो सकते हैं, कुछ टॉल मैन आपके इंडियन भी हो सकते हैं. ब्लैक हेयर्ड पीपल जो है वो आपके टॉल मैन भी हो सकते हैं, और ब्लैक हेयर्ड पीपल आपके इंडियन भी हो सकते हैं. जो इंडियन है वो भी आपके टॉल मैन हो सकते हैं, और इंडियन आपके ब्लैक हेयर्ड पीपल भी हो सकते हैं. दिस इज द पॉसिबिलिटी, एंड दिस हैज बीन आस्क्ड इन द SCRA क्वेश्चन पेपर here. So now here in this question we will draw the diagram. Here is the three circles that are interrelated to one in each other. The one first will be black haired people. The other one, you can say that this is the tall man. First one tall man, second is black beard, and of course this is an Indians. So this has been asked in the SCRA question paper, तो आपको उसी के पैटर्न के अकॉर्डिंग ही आपको अपना दिमाग लगाना है. Now moving on with the next question, that is your 40th question of the session is, so this is the question here, this is your 40th question. The question is elected house, MP, MLA. This has been asked in your income tax central exercise question paper here. सो हियर दिस इज द इलेक्टेड हाउस वाला एमपी एंड एमएलए, ये जो तीनों है इलेक्टेड हाउस, एमपी और एमएलए, ये आपका इनकम टैक्स और सेंट्रल एक्सरसाइज के क्वेश्चन पेपर में पूछा गया है. सो क्लियरली हियर फॉर दिस वी कैन से दैट क्लियरली नो एमपी, कोई भी एमपी जो आपका है दैट कैन बी एमएलए. ओके, कोई भी जो आपका कोई भी एमपी अगर है तो वो आपका एमएलए नहीं हो सकता, और जो एमपी है आपका वो एमएलए, all MPs are belongs to MLA and that belongs to the elected house as well. So here no MPs can be MLA, कोई भी MP MLA नहीं हो सकता, but जितने भी MP हैं वो सारे MLAs को belong करते हैं with related to that your this one the elected house here. So इसकी categorization में क्या करेंगे, क्योंकि MP और MLA जो हैं वो दोनों ही आपके different हैं, तो this is MP and this is of course MLA, एंड बट ये दोनों ही क्या होते हैं, दैट आर इलेक्टेड इन द इलेक्टेड हाउस. सो ये आपका इस तरह से हम डायग्राम्स को रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे. इलेक्टेड हाउस वाला एमपी एंड एमएलए, दिस हैज बीन आस्क्ड इन द इनकम टैक्स एंड सेंट्रल एक्सरसाइज क्वेश्चन पेपर. Now talking about the next question, that is states, districts and union territories. State, districts and union territories, this question has been asked in the SCRA question paper. and states को represent करना है आपके, districts को represent करना है, and union territories को represent करना है. तो here you can see this, the districts form part of the state. तो districts जो हैं वो आपके states के parts हैं, but the union territory is entirely different here. तो जो districts हैं वो states के part हैं, but आपके union territories are different from each other. So here you can draw this diagram here, as this is the districts here, these were the states, and this is the entirely different, that is union territory. तो ये आपका union territory है, and the inside one is your districts, क्योंकि districts से मिलके ही हमारा states बनते हैं. So here you can see that that districts form a part of state, but the union territories are the entirely different here. This has been asking your NCRA question paper. Now moving on with the next one, that is your 42th question, and the question is triangle, four-sided figure and square here. Okay, so with here we're talking about triangles होंगे, फोर साइडेड फिगर्स होंगे और स्क्वायर होंगे. तो इसके केस में अगर मैं बात करती हूँ कि ट्राइंगल्स एंड फोर साइडेड फिगर्स एज वेल एज योर स्क्वायर्स, तो यहाँ पे हमारे square is also known as the four-sided figure, but the triangle is entirely different. तो square जो है वो भी, क्योंकि square आपका इस तरह से बनता है, और फोर साइडेड फिगर भी कुछ इस तरह ही से बनेगा, चाहे वो इतना इतना बने चाहे इतना इतना बने, तो चार साइडेड फिगर, तो वो entirely square जो है वो फोर साइडेड ही फिगर है. तो we can draw two concentric circles once. एक ये आपका स्क्वायर हो गया, this is your known as square here, and this is the outside circle is known as here four sided figure. And the triangles, because this is entirely different, so this is triangles here. And this question has been asked in the income tax question paper, so this is an important one. You have to be very careful about then what we had right here. Now moving on with the next question, that is your question number 43, and the question is doctor, nurse and human being. Doctor, nurse and human being, इसके लिए अगर मैं बात करती हूँ तो डॉक्टर, नर्स और ह्यूमन बीइंग क्या होते हैं. Here this is the question that has been asked in the IT and CE central exercise, that is income tax and central exercise question paper. and डॉक्टर और नर्स एंड ह्यूमन बीइंग की बात करते हैं, तो डॉक्टर और नर्स तो दोनों डिफरेंट प्रोफेशंस हैं, ये आपको भी पता है, बट ये बोथ दोनों ही आपके ह्यूमन बीइंग होते हैं. तो द डायग्राम विल बी लाइक ह्यूमन बीइंग, दिस इज नोन एज डॉक्टर, एंड दिस इज ऑफ कोर्स द नर्स हियर. ठीक है, तो आप ये कह सकते हो डॉक्टर्स हैं, नर्स है, और ये आप दोनों ही आपके ह्यूमन बीइंग होते हैं. इन दिस डॉक्टर एंड नर्स आर entirely different professions and but both are human beings, so we had drawn like that. And this has been asked in income tax and central exercise question paper. Now moving on with the next one, that we have your 44th question here. Here this is the question that I had drawn is similar to this, only they are the two different and of course that comes under the one. तो इसका एक एग्जांपल बताएं तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है. फॉर एग्जांपल मैं अगर केमिस्ट्री से रिलेटेड लेती हूँ, तो मान लो ये है प्रोटॉन, ये है इलेक्ट्रॉन, और ये इलेक्ट्रॉन और प्रोटॉन को अगर हम मिला देंगे तो बनते हैं एटम्स. यही होता है। तो एंटायरली एक प्रोटॉन है, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन है और आपको ये एटम्स है। तो इस तरह से आपको ये सारी चीज़ें पता होनी चाहिए। देखो क्वेश्चंस के बिहाफ पे तो आप बना लोगे, बट अकॉर्ड आफ्टर दैट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टूड कि आप किस टाइप के क्वेश्चन को किस तरह से सॉल्व करते हो। दोनों तरह से आपको प्रिपेयर रहना पड़ेगा। ज़रूरी नहीं हर बार आपको क्वेश्चन इसी पैटर्न में दिया जाए कि आपको सिर्फ डायग्राम बनाना है, या ज़रूरी नहीं कि आपको सिर्फ डायग्राम बनाना पड़े। डायग्राम बना के दे सकते हैं, आपको फिर उसके हिसाब से बताना पड़ेगा कि इसका आप क्या एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हो। तो यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर विद द बोथ साइड here. Now talking about the next question, that we have your question number 45 here. As of now you can see that protons, electrons and atoms की मैंने बात की। तो प्रोटॉन, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स एंड एटम्स अभी मैंने आपको डायग्राम बताया था, तो दैट हैज़ बीन इवन दो आस्क्ड इन द कॉम्पिटिशन। सो ये आपका एक प्रोटॉन हो गया, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन हो गया, ये दोनों फॉर्म करते हैं तो दे फॉर्म एटम्स हियर। सो दिस इज नोन एज एटम्स हियर, दिस इज योर प्रोटॉन्स एंड ऑफ कोर्स दिस इज एंड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स। तो एक एक इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हो गया, एक प्रोटॉन हो गया, और ये दोनों ही इंटायरली जब बनते हैं दे आर नोन एज एटम्स हियर। So electrons and protons are different from each other, but they are combined that they are forming atoms here. Now 46th question here, the question number 46, we have sun, planets and earth. Here we are discussing the 46th question here. The question is of sun, planets and earth. Sun, planets and earth, and this has been asked in the railway question paper. And the earth belongs to the class of planet. Earth जो है वो आपका planet के class को belong करता है, but the sun is entirely different from the two. So that's the reason we are forming a diagram of Venn diagram here. The first inside we have an earth, because earth is belong to the class of planets, so planets will be the outside circle in the concentric circles here, and the entirely different as sun, so we'll draw like this, and this has been asked in your railway question paper. Now question number 47th here, that the question is dog, animal, pet. The dog, animal, pet, if I'm talking about, तो some dogs are pets, कुछ dogs जो होते हैं वो pets होते हैं, and some pets are dogs, और कुछ pets जो होते हैं वो dogs होते हैं, but dogs and pets are animal. Dogs और pets जो भी होंगे वो आपके animal के categorization में होंगे। तो क्योंकि some dogs are pet and some pets are dog, तो वो हम कुछ related data show करेंगे, and the big circle will be the animal here. तो ये बड़ा वाला सर्कल जो होगा वो यहाँ पे एनिमल होगा। इसमें से कुछ आपके पेट हैं, कुछ आपके डॉग्स होंगे, ओके, बट बोथ आर कम्स अंडर द कैटेगरी ऑफ एनिमल हियर. Now talking about the next question, that is a 48th question. The question we have here is science, physics and chemistry. साइंस, फिजिक्स एंड केमिस्ट्री, आई थिंक अगर आप 12th पास हो या फिर 6th 7th पास भी हो तो भी आपको ये पता होगा. फिजिक्स एंड केमिस्ट्री इज अ पार्ट ऑफ साइंस योर. फिजिक्स एंड केमिस्ट्री आर एंटायरली, ये फिजिक्स और केमिस्ट्री तो एंटायरली डिफरेंट है एक दूसरे से, बट बोथ बिलोंग टू द क्लास ऑफ साइंस हियर. सो हियर यू कैन से दैट फिजिक्स एंड केमिस्ट्री, बिकॉज ये दोनों बिल्कुल डिफरेंट है, तो वन विल बी द केमिस्ट्री हियर, okay, and one will be the physics here, but both entirely known as science. Okay, now the question number 49 here that we have is atmosphere, hydrogen and oxygen. Atmosphere, hydrogen and oxygen. तो ऑक्सीजन और हाइड्रोजन आपको पता है ये दोनों क्या है, गैसेस हैं और एटमॉस्फेयर में पाई जाती हैं, तो इसलिए यू कैन से दैट हाइड्रोजन एंड ऑक्सीजन आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम ईच अदर, क्योंकि ऑक्सीजन और हाइड्रोजन जो है वो दोनों ही आपकी एक दूसरे से बहुत ही अलग हैं, और ये दोनों कहाँ पाई जाती हैं, दे आर बोथ आर फाउंड इन द एटमॉस्फेयर हियर. Okay, this is the pattern that you can draw the Venn diagram here, all these questions. Now moving on with the next question, that is your question number 49 we had covered up. We'll move with a 50th question of this session. Is the 50th question is wheat, grains and maize. Wheat, grains and maize. Maize is wheat and maize are the two different item. Wheat और आपका maize जो है वो different items हैं, but both belong to the class of grains here. So हम वही same बनाएंगे, दो different आपके circles बनाएंगे. इसमें से एक होगा आपका maize, एक आपका होगा wheat, बट ये दोनों को अगर हम कंबाइन करते हैं तो दे बोथ आर नोन एज grains here. Now moving on with the next question, that is your question number 51th, and the question is machine, lathe, mathematics. Machine, lathe and mathematics. This is the question here, and the question is lathe is a type of machine. lathe जो है वो आपकी machine का type है, okay, but the mathematics is entirely different from the two, so we will be drawing the two concentric circles and one is different. The different one will be your mathematics, and in the concentric circle the inside one is lathe, क्योंकि lathe आपका जो टाइप है वो मशीन का टाइप है, ओके, जो उसने मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग की होगी या मैकेनिक्स पढ़ी होगी तो उसको पता है lathe is a machine of a type of a machine. And this question has been asked in the CBI question paper here. This is also an important one, so you can write it down. Now moving on with the next question, that is your question number 52th, and the question we have is biology, botany and zoology. Biology, botany and zoology, this question has been asked in the railway examination paper, and in the case of the botany and zoology, these were the two different from each other, because botany and the zoology are entirely different from each other, but both are the branches of biology. So you can draw two different and disjoint circles here within a big one. The big one is known as biology, because zoology and botany is a branch of biology, and this is, for example, this is a botany here and this is your zoology. These were the two different branches of biology here, but these were the two different one from each other, but this comes under the biology branch of biology here. This has been asked in the railway question paper. Now question number 53rd we have here is citizens, educated and men. Citizens, educated and men की अगर हम बात करते हैं, so the some citizens are educated, कुछ जो citizens हैं वो आपके educated हो सकते हैं. Here the some educated are citizens, some citizens are educated, but both educated and citizens are men here. So this is categorized as in the form of, this is the men here, and here some were the educated here, so you can write it down here, educated. Some were, you know, citizens, so of course you can write it down, citizens here. So in this case some educated are citizens, some citizens are educated, but both educated and citizens were men. So this what the categorization we had done here. Now talking about the next one, that is your 54th question here, and the question we have is pencil, stationery, jeep. Pencil, stationery and jeep, this has been asked in the SBI PO question paper here, and the question that has been important also for the competition here. So the pencil, stationery and jib, this is a question that has been asked in the SBI question paper. तो इसकी बात अगर हम करते हैं तो pencil is come under the stationery here, because pencil is an item of stationery, but jeep is entirely different. तो jeep जो ये है वो आपका jeep हम ये अलग लिखेंगे, और यहाँ पे ये inside वाला जो concentric circle में है, this is the pencil, and the outside one is known as stationery, and this has been asked in the SBI PO question paper, and that is also an important one here. Now moving on with the next one, that we have your 55th question. Here is the question number 55 here, that is your factory, machinery and product. Factory, machinery and product, this has been asked in the SBI question paper. अगर हम factory, machine और product की बात करते हैं तो machine and product, machinery and a product are entirely different from each other, but both are present in the factory here. So this is the factory, machinery and product. So machinery and a product is entirely different from each other, but both are present in the factory. So we will be drawing the diagram. This is one will be the machinery, one will be the product, and they come entirely known as in the factory. So we will be writing this is in the form of factory here. One will be the machinery here, and one will be the product here, and this has been asked in the SBI PO question paper, so this is an important one here. Now talking about the next question, the question 56th we have is vegetables, brinjal and cauliflower. This has been asked in the SBI question paper, vegetables, brinjal and cauliflower. If I'm talking about the brinjal and cauliflower, they are entirely different from each other, but both are vegetables. So we will be drawing the diagram in the form of these two disjoint figures that we have here. The one will be the brinjal here, the one will be here the cauliflower, and they both entirely known as comes under the category of vegetables. So this has been asked in the SBI question paper, and that is also an important one. Now moving on with the next question, that is a 57th question. The question is honesty, intelligence and aptitude. Honesty, intelligence and aptitude. This question has been asked in the SBI question paper. If I'm talking about the honesty, honesty, aptitude and of course intelligence, so we will be solving this question in a way. Aptitude, intelligence and honesty are uh, entirely different from each other, so we will be drawing aptitude, honesty and intelligence. We can draw like that here. This is a one will be your intelligence, one will be the honesty, and the one will be here the aptitude, because honesty, intelligence and aptitude, these were entirely different from each other. Now talking about the next question, that is the question number 58, and the question we have truck, ship and goods. Truck, ship and goods, this has been asked in the SBI question paper. Truck, ship and goods. Truck and ship are entirely different from each other, but some goods are carried by some trucks, and some goods are carried by the some of the ships. So here truck एक बनेगा, okay, one will be the truck, one will be the ship and one will be the good here, क्योंकि goods ही आपके ships के through भी जाते हैं. This will be the ship here, this will be the goods and this will be the truck. ओके तो ये इस तरह से बनेगा आपका, तीन कंसेंट्रेटिक सर्कल्स बनेंगे इस तरह से. ये आपका शिप है, ये आपका ट्रक है और ये आपका गुड्स है. This has been asked in the SBI question paper and that SBI PO, and that is also an important one that you have to go through with, and of course you have to practice this one. Now I'm talking about the question number 59 here, and the question number 59 is painter, scholar and table. Painter, scholar and table, these three are this question has been asked in the LIC AAO question paper, and here this group of items can be represented while we are representing here, since there is no here that painter and scholar की अगर हम बात करते हैं, painter and scholar, this would be the somewhat related to one another, but that table is entirely different here. So table आप इस तरह से अलग बनाओगे, and one will be here, it is your scholar, and the second one will be of course your painter here. Okay, and this has been asked in the LICAO question paper. Now moving on with the next question, that we have your 60th question paper. That question that we have to discuss here is, here the 60th question is men, dog and cat. Men, dog and cat के अगर हम बात करते हैं, so here this is the question that they had asked you here, and in the case of the 60th question, this group of the items that we can represent here is, because hen, dog and cat, these were three all are different and they had not linked with each other, they have don't having a similarity here. So here one will be the dog, one will be the hen and of course one will be the cat. These three are different from each other, so we had draw the Venn diagram with three disjoint figures here. Now moving on with the question number 61 here. The question number 61 we have is man, worker and gardener. So garden, sorry, man, worker and garden. Man, worker and garden if I'm talking about, तो man and worker, of course जो worker होंगे वो man ही होंगे of course. Okay, so these were the somewhat related to one another, but the garden is entirely different here. So we will be forming a statistic like one will be the worker here, one will be the man here, and of course entirely different, that is garden here. Now moving on with the next question, that we have your question number 62th here. The question is color, cloth and merchant. Color, cloth and merchant, this is the question here. Color, cloth and merchant, these three are totally different from one and another, so we'll be drawing this three disjoint figure, where one will be the merchant here, one will be the cloth here, and of course one will be the color here, because these three were different from one another and they are the disjoint figures that we had drawn here. Now talking about the next one, that we have your 63rd question, and the question is males, cousins and nephew. Males, cousins and nephew. So here in this group, some nephews were male. We can say that some nephews were male. तो nephews जो होते हैं, nephews were male, that we can say that in the form of two concentric circle, but some males and nephews were also known as cousins, so we will be drawing this. This is the diagram that you have to draw. पहले आप सबसे अंदर nephews draw करोगे, then they are males and some of what they are cousins. Okay, and now here the next question, we have your 64th question, and the question is copper, zinc and iron. Copper, zinc and iron, this is the question here. And copper, zinc and iron की अगर हम बात करते हैं, तो copper, zinc and iron, these were the three different from each other. They have no relation between the three, so we can write draw a three disjoint of figures here. One will denote iron here, one will denote zinc here, and one will denote copper here. So these three are totally different from each other, so we can draw these by drawing a three disjoint figures here. Now moving on with the next one, that we have your 65th question of the session. 65th question, that we have star, moon and Mars. Star, moon and Mars, these three are totally different from each other, so we will be drawing the three disjoint figure here. One will represent here the star, one will represent moon, and one will represent of course Mars here. So these three were different from one and another, and that is known as star, moon and Mars. Now talking about the 66th question, we have human beings, doctors and married people. Human beings, doctors and married people की बात करते हैं, तो you can say that some doctors are married, and but either it could be in the form of doctor, चाहे वो married हो चाहे नहीं हो, they were both were known as human being, क्योंकि सभी, चाहे वो married है चाहे नहीं है, चाहे doctor है चाहे नहीं है, सभी वो आपके human beings के categorization में आएंगे. And this one will be the married people, and one will be here the doctors. So one will be the doctors, one will be the married people, and both are categorized under the human being here. Now moving on with the next question, that is your question number 67th here. The question is apple, orange and mango. Apple, orange and mango. So apple, orange and mango, these three are the fruits, but these three are different from each other totally. So we will be drawing three disjoint figures here, and representing one circle with apple, the one with orange, and the one with mango, because they don't have any relation between one another, and they are totally different from one another. Now moving on with the next question, that is your question number 68th here. And the 68th question that we have is seed, leaf and root. Seed, leaf and root, these three with the question that has been asked in the hotel management question paper here is seeds, leaves and root की अगर हम बात करते हैं, तो these three are different. Seeds, leaves and roots, so this has been asked the hotel management question paper. These were the three different ones, so we'll be drawing a three disjoint of figures here in reference to the Venn diagram. One will denote leaf here, and one will be the root here, and of course the one will be the seed here. Okay, so these were the three that are different from one another. Now moving on with the next question, that is your question number 69 here, and the question is girls, athlete and singer. Girls, athlete and singer here. Here this is the girls, athletes and singers. So girls, athlete and singer की बात कर सकते हैं. So you can say that some girls can be athlete, some athlete can be the singers, and of course some girls can be singers. So we will be drawing the diagram in a way like this here, where we can represent one will be the girls here, one will be the athlete here, and one will be of course here the singer. This question has been asked in the hotel management question paper, where you can say that some girls can be athletes, some athlete can be singers, and some girls will be singer. So this has been asked, the important that has been asked in your hotel management question paper, and that is also an important one. You can go through with the question here. Now moving on to the next one, that we have your 70th question for the session that we have to discuss here. So here this is the 70th question, and the question is window, room and wall. Window, room and wall, this has been asked in the hotel management question paper here. विंडो रूम एंड वॉल की अगर हम बात करते हैं, यू कैन से दैट बोथ वॉल एंड विंडो आर अ पार्ट ऑफ रूम, बट वॉल एंड विंडो आर एंटायरली डिफरेंट. सो वी कैन ड्रॉ दैट. रूम में अगर हम बात करते हैं तो यहाँ पे वॉल भी होती है, विंडो भी होती है. वन विल रिप्रेजेंट वॉल एंड वन विल रिप्रेजेंट विंडो हियर, but both are known under come under room. So here you can write it down this type, and this has been an important one because this has been asked in your hotel management question paper. Now moving on with the next one, that we have your 71th question. The question is state, country and city. State, country and city, this has also been asked in your hotel management question paper. अगर हम state country और city की बात करते हैं तो आपको पता है सिटी जो है वो आपका स्टेट का पार्ट है और स्टेट जो है वो कंट्री का पार्ट है. तो यू कैन से दैट अ सिटी लाइज विद इन अ स्टेट एंड विच लाइज विद इन अ कंट्री. तो हम एक उसमें अभी तक ही 2 कंसंट्रेटिक सर्कल्स बनाते थे, बट अब हम 3 कंसंट्रेटिक सर्कल्स बनाएंगे. ओके, बिकॉज दीज 3 ऑल आर पार्ट ऑफ वन अनदर. तो जो स्मॉल वाला सबसे छोटा वाला सर्कल होगा, दिस इज हैज बीन सिटी, एंड दिस विल बी द स्टेट, एंड दिस विल बी द कंट्री. Okay, so you can see that a city lies within a state, and then of course which lies within a country. Here this has been asked in your hotel management question paper. Now moving on with the next question, that is a question number 72 here, and the question is copper, paper, wire. Copper, paper, wire, this question has been asked in the hotel management question paper. And copper, paper, wire की बात करते हैं. Some wires are made of copper, but papers are entirely different. तो some wires are made of copper, तो basically आपका हम बोल सकते हैं कि some wires है, तो wires जो है वो of course क्योंकि सारे wires नहीं होते copper से बने हुए, तो या वायर्स जो है दिस इज कम्स अंडर द कॉपर हियर. ओके, एंड या फिर कह सकते हो कॉपर से ही वायर्स बनते हैं. अगर मैंडेटरी बना देते तो यहाँ पे पेपर आ जाएगा, बिकॉज पेपर इज एंटायरली डिफरेंट हियर. And now moving on with the next question, that is the question number 73 here, and the question is teacher, graduate and player. Teacher, graduate and player की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो teacher, graduate and player के बारे में, तो all the all here are the partially one in another, क्योंकि some teachers will be a graduate, and some graduate will be a player, some player will be a teacher, some player will be a graduate, or some graduate are teachers or some graduates are players. So this has been asked in the hotel management question paper. तो इस तरह से हम लोग sum और related circle diagram बनाएंगे, जिसमें से एक होगा आपका teacher, this one will be the graduate here, and the one will be the player here. This has been asked in the hotel management question paper. Some teachers are graduates, some teachers are players, some graduates are teachers, some graduates are players, some players are graduates, some players are teachers. So this has been asked in the hotel management question paper. Now talking about the 74th question, and the question is vertebrates, non-vertebrates and living beings. Vertebrates and non-vertebrates and living beings, ये आपका क्वेश्चन जो है वो MBA के क्वेश्चन पेपर में पूछा गया है. बोथ वर्टिब्रेट्स एंड नॉन वर्टिब्रेट्स आर एंटायरली डिफरेंट, क्योंकि वर्टिब्रेट्स और नॉन वर्टिब्रेट तो एंटायरली डिफरेंट है, बट दोनों ही आपके लिविंग बींग्स में आते हैं. तो हम पहले 2 सर्कल्स बनाएंगे, जिसमें से एक आपका होगा नॉन वर्टिब्रेट्स, एक होगा आपका वर्टिब्रेट्स, और ये दोनों ही आपके किसके अंदर आएंगे, लिविंग बींग्स. And this has been asked in the MBA question paper. Now class, आज के लिए इतना ही, जिसमें हमने 74th questions ऑलरेडी कवर अप कर लिया है. अगर आप हमारे चैनल फर्स्ट टाइम देख रहे हो या अभी तक आपने हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है, इट्स अ ह्यूज रिक्वेस्ट कि आप हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो, सो दैट हम जो भी वीडियोस डालें वो आपके पास सबसे पहले पहुंचे. एंड सेकेंडली, अगर आपको हमारा वीडियो अच्छा लगे तो प्लीज़ हमारे वीडियो को लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब करो, सो दैट ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग के पास वीडियो पहुँचे और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग इसका यूटिलाइजेशन भी कर सके. Thank you. Hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion in the comment box. Please like, share and subscribe our channel so that many and maximum people can get the information at once. And even though you can also enjoy the video and you can utilize those knowledge that you don't know, and you can give those knowledge to the others that they don't know about these. So please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.